Hey guys, it's Kimberley with the Happyness Journey, and today I want to talk to you about fears and pushing through those fears. So, we often self sabotage the things that we want most in life because we're afraid of even trying. So, we basically fail before we even get started. And then we live with that feeling of failure for a long time to come. So I wanted to talk to you about that and dive into that a little bit. This has been something that I've been overcoming over the last few months, big time in my life. I've had a lot of fears. Fear of failure is a huge thing for me. I've always been afraid of failing at things, and I've been afraid at what other people will think of me if I try something and I don't succeed at it. Because that's happened to me, I feel so many times. So I wanted to talk to you, and a prime example is creating the Happyness Journey Facebook group and the Happyness Journey YouTube channel. It took me about 6 weeks to create them, not that I didn't know how to do it or know what I was doing, but because I was afraid. So I got the idea to create a Facebook group around personal development in about mid-November. And I sat on that for a couple of weeks. I kind of brought it up with a couple people who are in the personal development community that I'm in, and got some feedback and really kind of was like, oh, do I want to do this? I really, really want to, but I don't really know what I'm doing. And I was afraid that if I created something and I put effort into it, that nobody would show up, or that I'd be judged for it, or that I just wouldn't be good enough. And so about 2 weeks after I got the idea to create this Facebook group, was about Black Friday, and domains were on sale. So I was driving home from work one day, and I know exactly where I was too, on the road. And it was dark, and coming home from work, and it was in the middle of the Haney bypass heading east. And I got this idea, and it was like the Happyness Project. And it popped into my head out of nowhere, completely nowhere. And I knew right then that this was a sign that, yes, do something with this. And so I took that domain name, ran it through a couple different domain providers, found out it was already taken. And it was already taken on Instagram as well. And I wanted the Instagram handle to match. I just wanted everything to match and be consistent. So I started racking my brain for other ideas, and that's where I came up with the Happyness Journey. Now, happiness spelled correctly with an I, or I guess it'd be two I's. Happiness, sorry, one I. I have to spell that out. One I in happiness, that was already taken. So happiness spelled correctly was already taken. So I had the idea to spell it with the Y instead. And where that came from actually is the movie Pursuit of Happyness. The author who wrote the book, The Pursuit of Happyness, spelled it with a Y because he was in, I think it was, I don't know if he was picking up his kids from daycare one day or something like this anyways. And children often, when they spell things, they'll spell it the way that they think it should be spelled, or the way that it sounds. So that would be with a Y. That would make sense. You write, happy, and you add the ness on the end of it. So because I have kids, that also stuck with me, because my kids often do spell things that way, and I think it's adorable, and I want it to never change, even though I know society, when they're, my age, they have to spell things correctly. It's really cute when you're 5 and 8 years old, but not so much when you're in your 30s. So I went with that. So, and that was available as a domain, as a .com, which is exactly what I wanted. And then from there, beginning of December, I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm committed. So I needed that one step to get me committed to actually pushing through my fears and starting something. So I started the Facebook group. I created it on December 4th. I did nothing with it. Literally did nothing with it. That was it. Created the group, did nothing at all. Started creating, the information sections and things like that, but I did nothing else. Slowly over time. So then throughout December, I slowly, I already had an email autoresponder, so I use GetResponse, and I've had it for over a year for completely unrelated project that I have. So I already had that. So then I created the Happyness Journey email handle, and then I started setting up the emails in there, and then I did nothing. Literally did nothing again. I just sat on it, did absolutely nothing with it. And then it wasn't until about the very, very end of December that one of my mentors posted in his Facebook group, what are your goals for 2020? And I said, these are my goals, and I'm going to do this before the end of the year. I'm going to start this Facebook group. And I went, oh no, I've now told Landon that I'm going to do this. I actually have to follow through with that. And so I did. But I had so much fear backing this up for me to do absolutely nothing with it. And I had came up with so many excuses. So it was, what if nobody joins the group? What if I start this group and there's literally just me in it? Like I'm not going to create content for myself, because that's kind of not the purpose of it. What if nobody joins the email list and then I have no one to send emails out to? And what if nobody watches my videos? What if I fail at my videos? What if I'm judged on what I'm doing? But none of that matters. I mean, even if it had gone that way, which it didn't, and I'm very grateful for that, but what if it had gone that way? Then it wouldn't matter. It would just be, Kate, like keep posting and trying to get people into this group and try on different platforms and go from there. Or find something else that works altogether. I mean, the cost of a domain is like, I don't even know, $8. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm not out any money for that, really. So it doesn't really matter. But so many times we self-sabotage, and I could have very easily done that. I mean, I did that for the entire month of December, where I was like, I am procrastinating on this. Like, I completely procrastinating on it and doing nothing with it. And yes, there's the holidays in there, but that's still like, yeah, use that as an excuse, but that isn't actually an excuse. So we're often looking for excuses on why we shouldn't do something, when if we actually just took some actionable steps and ran with it, we could actually create something amazing. So my vision for this group is so far beyond where it's at right now. And I feel like I'm feeling, to be entirely honest. I really do, because I want to have content coming out every single day. And I want to do weekly Facebook Lives. I did my very first Facebook Live ever last Wednesday. And I did it, and people came on live, which was amazing, but it was 6 minutes. I ended that live and I looked at the clock and I started at 3. It was 3:06. I was talking about gratitude. I can talk about gratitude for hours on end. And it was 6 minutes long. And I got off and I said, okay, I talked way too fast. I forgot what I was going to talk. Like I forgot all the details, a lot of the details about what I wanted to talk about. I didn't even touch on. And I thought, well, do I jump back on and keep going? No, because that's going to look stupid. So I'm not going to do that. I will pre-record a further video on gratitude, and then I will drop that into the group, and then I will post that on YouTube as well. So I did start my very own YouTube channel as well. So all the videos that are in the Happyness Journey Facebook group get uploaded to YouTube as well. I've learned how to create covers for these, so I can have a nice cover showing up on my channel on YouTube, and then in the group as well. But I wanted to just touch on that. And you guys, if there's something that you want to do it. If you get this gut feeling like, hey, this feels right to me and I want to do this, but I'm afraid to do it anyways. Because you're going to thank yourself later. And not only are you going to thank yourself, but other people will likely thank you as well. So I know I've had a couple people reach out to me about the content that I have posted in the Happyness Journey Facebook group, and said that they really like my content and thank me for putting it there. So it's I mean, honestly, like, and I really held back on that. And it's when we do something like that and we procrastinate on things because we have that fear, I could have had more people that I could have helped out in December had I started this when I originally had the thoughts and the feelings to do it and the ideas. But often we step back and we're just so afraid of being judged and being feared. And I can talk about judgment that's going to be a whole other episode. I can talk about that for quite some time as well. But if there's things that you want to do, like if you want to sign up for a yoga class, or you want to start a dad's group locally and get together, once a month with other dads and their kids and go out and do some adventurous things, like, do it. Because I guarantee you there are people who are going to join that group, who are going to, who have children as well, who are dads and who want to go out and do things with their kids and meet other dads and make new friends that way. If you want to start a neighborhood dinner party once a month and rotate different houses, whoever hosts it, start it. Because I guarantee There are other people who would love to attend something like that as well. If you want to start your own business, but you don't know where to start, watch YouTube videos, find out how to do it, and then take the actionable steps to start that. If you want to further your education, figure out what you want to do and go back to school. If you want to ask for a raise, ask. Nobody's going to judge you on that. And if they do, who cares anyways? You shouldn't give a shit. Honestly, it's not about the other people. It's about you. It's about you being happy. It's about you doing the things that you want to do with your life. This group lights me on fire. I get fired up about it, and I'm so excited, even though at times I feel lost. Like, should I post this? Should I not? I mean, I went back and forth, like, should I get a haircut before I start doing videos? Do I need to have an office? I don't have an office to work out of. I'm currently at my dining room table. The other videos I've done, I've had the laptop propped up on my bed with pillows, and I'm sitting in a kitchen chair behind the laptop with my closet door shut behind me. But you know what? Does anybody care? No, absolutely not. And the only person that can see that is me. All you guys can see is what's behind me, and that's all that matters. You can't see right now that my dining room table is covered in 2 journals, a book, 3 journals, one's a calendar, coffee mugs, water bottles, like there's stuff, and I'm using it all today, and it's fine, and you can't see it, so it doesn't matter. So we need to push through those fears to actually overcome our challenges and get to where we want to be. And sometimes those fears are so strong, but the change that you want to make, you're not going to find it in your comfort zone. You have to step outside your comfort zone to make any changes in your life. And you might find one thing that makes you so happy, but the thought of actually pushing out of your comfort zone and pushing through that fear is so scary. And the thing is that every single person has fears. Every single person has anxieties. Every single person has things that hold them back. And sometimes when we need to figure out where our fears actually started from to be able to push through them. So when I look back growing up, I was a very introverted child. I was very quiet. I can't even tell you how many times I'd be out with my mom and somebody would make that snooty comment, "Does the cat have your tongue?" And I would look at them like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know you. I don't want to talk to you." So I was a very, very quiet child, and I still am quiet in certain situations and circumstances. I'm quite introverted until I really get to know people, and then my extroverted side will come out. But so pushing through things like that, right? Like even sitting in front of a camera right now, for me, I sat in this chair for 10 to 15 minutes before I hit the record button going, okay, here's what I want to talk about. I can't forget things. I have to talk about all these things. I want to get these all covered today. And I actually wrote down a few little notes, which I've yet to even look at, which is actually probably a good thing. But we really need to think about, like, what is that end result? Like, what do we want to actually accomplish? Do we want to sign up for a dance class? Do we want to go to yoga? Are we too old for this? Are we too young for this? Stop finding all these reasons to excuse yourself from actually doing these things. Because the more you procrastinate on them, the more regrets you're going to have. And the more you're going to live with, what if I had done this? We don't want to live in that what if. We want to live in, hey, I tried this, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's fine, but at least you tried it. People aren't going to judge you for trying something. You're actually stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that you want to do. And if they do judge you, then that's their own problem. That's on them. That's because they have their own insecurities that they're dealing with, and they're probably jealous that you've actually tried something while they're still sitting there trying to figure out how to get moving in the first place. So if we can actually dig into our past and we can figure out where these fears and insecurities actually came from, we are better to prepare ourselves to push through them. So for me, the fear of failure, I can remember so many times growing up where I tried things and I felt like I failed. I grew up figure skating, and I placed first in one competition. I was typically like fourth was good for me, but I usually wasn't even in the top 5, which would be podium. I placed first once, and I singled a double jump in that, and I beat myself up over it, and I was shocked that I came in first in that one. So, and I always compared myself with other people as well. That's a whole nother episode as well. Comparison, we're going to do that one later as well. But basically don't compare yourself to others. They have different fears and insecurities and goals and challenges, and there are two completely different people. No two people are the same, and everybody's got different fears and anxieties to get through. So another one is, I started my own home-based business. Gosh, this was back in 2009 now. And I felt like I completely failed at that. And there's multiple reasons for that. And a lot of that would be mindset. I had no idea anything about mindset back then. And then in 2016, I competed in 2 fitness competitions in bikini up on stage. And I thought I worked my ass off. Well, I did. I worked my ass off for those competitions. But I placed 5th in the first one, and I didn't place in the second. And I was devastated, absolutely devastated. But it's not even always about where you place. It's about that you've actually taken the action and you've tried to get there. So we need to push through those fears and insecurities, and we can change things around. So knowing that I have failed on all these things, when I was even just starting this Facebook group, the Happyness Journey, I really felt like, okay, well, what if this is just another failure for me? What if this is another thing that I don't feel good enough at? But the thing is, I wouldn't know unless I tried. And I knew that. And I knew I needed to push and push and push and push myself so far out of my comfort zone that I'm still sitting here in front of this camera and it's still recording. And I don't know how long I've been talking for at this point. So this is a huge step for me. So push through those things, because maybe one of you needs to hear this. You guys, maybe you really do need to hear this. Maybe there's something that you're wanting to do and you don't know where to start. And it doesn't matter. It's not about where you start. It's about that you start. It's about that you push through those fears. It's about that you actually take that action, because otherwise you won't have any idea what could have been. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. If you don't fall, you won't learn. This is how we learn, is by trying something. And if we fail, we learn from it. You either win or you learn. There's no failing. You win or you fall and you learn. So take those actionable steps. Set that goal that you want. Take the step out of your comfort zone and go and get it. Go in and sign up for the class. Go and start the business. Go in and do whatever it is that you want to do. You guys, there's so many of you in this group that motivate and inspire me. We've got moms who are building at-home businesses. We've got a mom who just quit her job and had her first $10,000 month in December. We've got a guy who was in a car accident a few years back and was in hospital for months, and he's working on his mindset. That inspires me. We've got a mom in here that has her own business, a local juicing business, and that inspires me. We've got people in here who work full-time jobs and work out at the gym 6 days a week. That inspires me. We've got a fitness competitor. That inspires me, who in her first competition placed 2nd and 3rd in the fall. That inspires me. And brings pre-packaged meals to work every single day, completely set out, and that inspires me. We've got people who meal plan and meal prep, people who use meal services, people who are stay-at-home moms who are with their kids all day long. And to me, they look like they do it all. A stay-at-home mom is a very hard job. It's something that I don't even know if I could do it, to be honest. But that inspires me. We've got dads who have taken, who spend a lot of time with their kids and while their wives go out, and that inspires me. We've got dads who are running their own businesses, who are self-employed and are trying to balance everything, and that work-life balance is hard, and that inspires me. So you guys inspire me, and I really hope that I inspire you in some form, pushing through my fears and trying to tell you to do the same thing. So get out there, push through those fears, change your life, do something that makes you happy. Do something that makes you happy, for you, not for your kids, not for your spouse, not for your girlfriend, for you. Do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone for you, because it's going to change your life.